Every student has that one subject, the one that drains your energy the moment you see it, the one you keep avoiding because it feels too confusing, too boring, or just too hard. Maybe it's math, maybe it's physics, maybe it's a language you never fully connected with. And no matter how much you review the notes, watch explanations, or try harder, the subject still feels heavy, like your brain is working through wet cement. I used to think this meant I just wasn't good at certain subjects, that some people were naturally talented, and I simply wasn't one of them. But here's what shocked me. Top students aren't naturally gifted in every subject. They're just better at fixing their weak subjects in a very specific way. And once I learned their method, everything changed. What you'll learn today. In this video, I'll walk you through the study method top students quietly use to turn their weakest subjects into strengths. You'll learn why your weak subjects feel weak, the exact step-by-step method to finally understand difficult topics, how top students study less but improve faster, and how you can use this method today, even if you feel stuck or behind. No complicated systems, no unrealistic routines, just a simple, reliable method that works because it actually matches how your brain learns. Let's begin. The core method, the weak to strong framework, used by top students without even realizing it. This framework has 5 parts, and when you combine them, weak subjects stop feeling like a wall and start feeling like a puzzle you can finally solve. Let's break it down. Method 1. Identify the missing piece, the real reason you're struggling. Most students think they're bad at a subject because it's too hard, it's not my thing, I'm not smart enough, I don't have the talent. But usually the real problem is much simpler. You're missing 1 or 2 fundamental ideas that everything else is built on. Weak subjects rarely come from lack of ability. They come from missing foundations. In school, I struggled with algebra for years. I genuinely thought my brain just couldn't do math. Then one tutor asked a simple question. Do you understand what a variable actually is? I didn't. I had memorized rules, but never learned the core idea. Once I understood that single missing piece, the whole subject opened up. Your weak subject isn't a weakness, it's a missing piece. Pitfall: don't guess the missing piece. Find it directly by looking at what confuses you the most, or by asking someone, what is the simplest idea here that I'm not getting yet? Method 2. Break it down to the smallest possible unit. Top students don't study a whole chapter at once. They break it down until it's impossible not to understand it. Weak subjects feel overwhelming because the pieces are too big. So here's the method. Shrink the problem. Instead of understand chapter 7, turn it into understand this one example, or understand this one idea in the example. If you tried to swallow a whole loaf of bread, you'd choke, but slice it into small pieces. Suddenly it's easy. Weak subjects work the same way. Take tiny bites, as tiny as needed. Don't rush the small pieces. If a tiny piece is still confusing, break it down even further. Smaller is faster. Method 3. Create a feedback loop, the secret top students use. Here's something top students do without thinking. They don't move on until the idea can survive a simple test. Can I explain this clearly without looking? This is the feedback loop. It's not about memorizing. It's about checking understanding. Here's how to use it. Study a small piece. Close everything. Explain it in simple language. Notice what felt unclear. Go back only to that unclear part. Repeat. This loop turns weak knowledge into strong knowledge, fast. Mini example. A top student studying biology might say, okay, if I can't explain this process to a 12-year-old in 30 seconds, I don't fully understand it yet. That's the secret. Understanding beats repetition. Don't try to explain it perfectly. Aim for simple. Method 4. Practice where it hurts, the counterintuitive step. Most students make this mistake. They practice what they're already good at because it feels rewarding. But top students do the opposite. They practice where it hurts, but in a very controlled way. Here's the rule. 5 minutes of targeted practice and 1 hour of comfortable practice. For example, if you're bad at trigonometry, don't do general math practice. Do one small trig problem that challenges the exact weak area. A classmate of mine who ranked top 3 in our grade used to say, I don't fix my weak subjects by doing more. I fix them by doing specific. He wasn't working harder. He was working exactly where it mattered. Don't jump into the hardest problems immediately. Find problems that stretch you, not crush you. Method 5. Revisit the weak spots frequently, not intensively. Weak subjects don't become strengths overnight, but they do become strengths with frequent, tiny revisits. Your brain forgets weak material quickly. So instead of long marathon sessions, use this schedule. Short review, tiny improvement, repeat. This creates momentum. Imagine watering a plant. You don't dump 10 liters once and hope it grows. You give it little sips, consistently. In Korean study culture, students call this little drops of water learning. Small daily drops. No pressure, just steady growth. Don't wait until you're in the mood. Weak subjects need structure, not motivation. Let's quickly address the common mistakes students make. 1. Trying to fix everything at once. Pick one topic, not the whole subject. 2. Treating weak subjects like a punishment. This kills motivation. Think of it as solving a puzzle, not fixing a flaw. 3. Cramming instead of revisiting. Weak subjects strengthen with repetition, not intensity. 4. Comparing yourself to others. You're not behind, you're building your own foundation. 5. Waiting for confidence before starting. Confidence grows after practice, not before. Before we wrap up, here's the full weak to strong framework. 1. Find the missing piece. Weak subjects come from gaps, not lack of talent. 2. Break it down. Shrink the problem until it's easy to understand. 3. The feedback loop. Explain it simply without looking. 4. Practice where it hurts. Targeted practice builds strength fast. 5. Revisit often. Small, consistent refreshers create mastery. If you follow this method, your weak subject won't stay weak. It will slowly, and sometimes surprisingly, turn into a strength. At the end of the day, your brain isn't fixed. Your abilities aren't fixed. Even your weakest subject isn't fixed. You just need the right method. Try this framework today. Not all 5 steps, just the first one. Find the missing piece. Understand it deeply, and watch how the subject begins to shift. And if this video helped, consider subscribing. Not for motivation, but for clarity. Because the goal isn't to be naturally good at everything. It's to learn the method that makes everything easier. Your future self, the stronger, more confident version of you, will thank you for starting today.